Okay, so we will get started. So fun stuff. Yeah, I don't know why I'm echoing. So does it echo for you guys too? Somebody come off mute and tell me. It does. Okay. Well, all right, then I'm gonna hang up on my phone, and you guys will just have to talk instead of look at the chat because I can't see the chat while I'm presenting. All right, so fun stuff. Look what I finally got from Amazon, you guys. I have the book, week 4. Yay! Um, so I'm very excited that I have what you guys have now. So this should make my life easier. So that's awesome. Also, a couple of housekeeping things. I redid the quizzes, okay? And so hopefully they are better and you guys I reached out to a couple of you guys to see like what your thoughts were on the new the new Unit 1 quiz for the Mastering Chemistry, and so far, so good. So, because things have been so messed up, and I'm again incredibly sorry about that. There's nothing I could do about that. That was completely out of my hands. But I'm gonna give you guys full credit for the first 4 weeks. That doesn't mean that you don't need to do it because I still want you to be able to do them and learn from it because you will have to know the information for the test. But I said at the or we were talking about before we got started, um I know that there's a lot of stress to try to get caught up for those last 4 weeks, and I don't want to overstress you because I know that biochemistry is not your life and you have other classes besides just this one. And so I made the executive decision to do that, and I hope that's okay with you guys. Like I said, I still want you guys to do them. So how about this? Full credit if you at least attempt. And so I will go and like I got the feedback late last night, and so I will go and complete those other unit quizzes today, so that everything for the whole semester will be set up and you have access to it. Are there any questions or concerns about that? Are you guys okay with that? Um, like I said, I don't want you guys to be paralyzed or freaking out because things happen that were outside of your control and my control. Um, so yeah, let's discuss. Yeah, is everyone okay with that? Because I don't want you guys to be penalized for anything that again was outside of your control. I don't think that that's fair. And so yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? Mhm. That would be great. Because like I said, I'm trying to not add stress to your lives. And so pick up now. And like I said, I mean the other quizzes and stuff that would be great study material for getting ready for the midterm. So I do s- want you to do it. So I'm not just giving you free credit, but I'm just giving you credit and not penalizing you, if that makes sense. Anybody else? Yes. So, since we just got access to the Mastering Chemistry like not that long ago, and the first quizzes I made apparently were taking like 2.5 hours, 3 hours or more, and they were too hard. And so I reworked, well, first of all, I got the copy of the class shell that I had been asking for finally. And so I was able to figure out what assignments were supposed to be assigned. And then the thing that I still have to do is make your unit quizzes for the Mastering Chemistry homework. And I am only making them 10 questions, and so they should only take you about 30 minutes-ish, and it'll be good practice. So for the first 4 units, as long as you attempt them, I'm going to give full credit for them because I don't want to stress you guys out, okay? But I do want you to do them to get the information and the practice from them. Um, and I'm just gonna, like I said, if you at least attempt it, I'll give you full credit for the first up until like this week, week 4, including this week 4. So try between now and the midterm to attempt them, and like I said, it'll be good practice for, learning the material and applying it for the midterm. Is that clear for everyone? Are there any concerns about that? Both. So basically, right now, everyone has an A. Okay. Um, because, like I said, I don't want to stress you guys out by, because like you guys have said, it's been 4 weeks and now things are finally getting assigned and you guys are scrambling to make up for it. And again, it wasn't, I mean, I would accept blame if it was my fault, but this one's not. So I'm just trying to make everyone's life easier. Okay. You guys, is that fair or am I being too nice or what? E- Yeah. So some of the feedback, like I said, I only did unit 1 quiz redo in the new course shell that I sent out for the lab. And the feedback I got was it's much better and a lot less stressful. So yes, biochemistry itself is stressful. I totally get this. I mean, I teach it full time for my real full time job too, right? And so I get that it's a hard class and you guys are going to have to work hard. And honestly, your midterms and stuff are going to count as well. So you still are going to have to put the work in. And so this is the least I can do to help you guys out and let's get started on the right foot. So that's why I decided to do that. So, all right. Oh, update. I broke my finger. Yay! So, but you know how I told you I was going to the ER after class last week? Yeah. Darn horses. I can. What's up, Jared? We were just talking about assignments, right now, like as of right now, and for the first 4 weeks, I'm giving you full credit, um, just for attempting the homeworks. So that includes the homework and the quizzes, that are in the Mastering Chemistry, because it was out of everyone's hands that things were so messed up, and I'm not going to stress you guys out trying to get everyone caught up. And so that's what we were talking about. And this is being recorded, so I will put the recording up too so you can watch it. You are welcome. All right, so are there any other questions before we get started? Um, I'm gonna send a quick email out, um, or announcement because there are still some people that aren't here. So I know you guys are seeing my screen right now, but you're not gonna see anything fun and exciting. Um, Because like I said, I'm surprised that there are still some people that are not here. So, how are the videos for this one? Okay. Okay, so this will just take 2 seconds. And you guys aren't seeing anything fun or exciting. So, but I know that like Mariah never got the email to join for whatever reason, the last one. And so, because she emailed me, because you remember I was asking about why she wasn't here last time. So, anyway, okay, so sent that out, and so let's get started. So, how did this chapter go for you guys? Pretty okay? I think this one was a lot easier than the previous chapters, personally. Okay, cool. Um, why do you think that is? Do you think it's because we've been doing so much practice, or just it's starting to get bigger, so it's starting to make sense? Yeah, I know. Okay, fair enough. Alrighty, so let's all try to do these, and then we'll go through them as a class as well. Alrighty. So, with this one, we get to use Avogadro's number. It's always I just think it's fun to say that word, Avogadro's number. And so, let's take a second to try to do this one, and then, like I said, we'll come in at the end and do it as a class. All right, and like I said, I can't see the chat, so you guys are gonna have to kind of let me know when you're doing well. Okay. Um, all right, so how did we get there? So basically, we were given, see if I can write, writing with a broken finger is so much fun, you guys. So, all right, so let's see. We were given, hello, Mr. Pen, that we have 2.5 moles, okay? And then we need the molecules of water, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the moles of water times Avogadro's number, and that's going to give you the molecules. Okay, so if we have 2.5 moles times of water, 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd molecules over 1 mole of water, that ends up giving you 2.5 times 6.02 is 15.05. And then we're going to add 1 to the 10th power. And so then that ends up giving you, you are correct, 1.5 times 10 to the 24th, because we added 1 power to Avogadro's number, and then it this when you end up doing 2.5 times 6.2 is 15.05. Then the 15.05, how we're getting that 10th power is moving this guy over, so then that ends up being 1.5. Okay? So good job. All right, what about this guy? These, like, if you can figure out how to set them up, are pretty straightforward, but it does take a little bit of getting used to like, figure out what they're actually asking you to find. At least for me, it did. You guys are smart and have young brains. Mine's old and decrepit. You guys probably get so sick of me when during the videos. Pause me and come back when you're ready. So I'll give you guys a little bit more time. How are we coming along? All right, so I'll start talking about it. So with the molecular mass, a carbon is 12.01, and oxygen is 16. So remember we have CO2, so we'd have to times 16 by 2, and that ends up giving you 32 grams plus the 12.01 grams. So then 1 mole of carbon dioxide is 44.01 grams. And we want 0.5 moles. So what we're going to end up doing is taking 0.5 times this 44.01. And then that ends up giving you 22 grams. Okay, is everyone good on that? Like I said, I can't see the chat, so everyone's being really quiet. Use your book if you need it, because yeah, you do not have to memorize the entire periodic table. So yeah, absolutely, you can use your book as a resource. for the, yeah, yep, exactly. Your handy dandy little book, right? Page one. So yes, your carbon is 12.01. That's the bottom number, right? And then your oxygen is 16, and then times it by 2. But yes, you do not need to memorize all those. Absolutely not. That would be insane. All right. So 22 grams. Bushel. So you guys are, I'm assuming, using the book and like the charts and stuff like that for the quizzes too, right? Hopefully. If not, you guys are Doogie Howser's little sisters or brothers because that'd be amazing. All right. So this one's all about the coefficients. And these can be fun and these can also be hair-pullingly frustrating. So let's see what you guys get. My pen stopped working. Problem. All right, I'm gonna go grab a new battery while you guys are working on this. How's everything going? Yes, correct. Why is my pen not working, you guys? Okay. Okay. So the first step would be to try to do the most complex formula. Okay. So we're going to start. So take, I feel like the sloth on Zootopia. Okay, so we're going to start with the most complex formula, which would be the um, aluminum chloride, right? And then it's easier to start from that and then kind of save hydrogens for the last. So let's do that handy dandy. Here we go. Yay! Okay, so start with most complex. Okay. formula. And what you want to do is you can kind of do that little table. So the start, which is going to be the reactants, and then the end is going to be your product. Okay. And so we start with one aluminum, one hydrogen, and one chloride. Okay. And then we end with one aluminum, two hydrogens, and three chlorides. So then you just have to kind of, like, again, balance it out so that we can figure out what's going on. And so then, yes, two aluminums plus six HCl's is going to lead us to the 2AlCl3 plus 3 H2s. Okay, and so if you save, like I said, the hydrogens kind of to the last, then those are gonna kind of be the easiest ones to balance. So save your hydrogens to the last. So yes, that does give you C as an answer. All right, good job. All right, what about this guy? So I found myself overthinking a lot of um a lot of these. And so make sure that you don't overthink things. Mariah, did you make it? Did everyone make it? How many students do we have here? I haven't been sending them out every week. I made like a reoccurring appointment, and so it should show up on your calendar if you accept it, but I'll just start sending out the link again. I just didn't want to clutter up your guys' emails, but I'll end up sending up the link again just so that everyone can make sure that they're here. No worries, because I don't think you're the only student that was having problems. So I mean, it's 2 seconds for me to do. Yep. Okay, cool. Did Hannah make it? All right, awesome. Wendy? Did Wendy King make it? What about Samantha? Okay, cool. So Wendy's the only one right now. Okay, so for this one, we have to determine how many moles of oxygen gas, okay, are needed. And so, like I said, I tend to overthink things, and you guys may too. So, welcome to my mind of overthinking. So, basically, what we want to do is if we look at how many oxygens we have five oxygens. So, if we take 5 moles, right, times the one or the one five, sorry, oxygen molecules plus the 1.6 moles, that ends up giving 8. And so 8 would be your correct answer. Okay. So were you guys overthinking this one a little bit? maybe. Okay. Now this one. Mm-hmm. I was looking at the other one, so sorry about that. Yes. So actually, all of these are wrong because I was looking at. Good catch. Thank you. All right, so 72. Wait, what? I wrote down the wrong formula, didn't I? 12. This should be 12. Good Lord, you guys would think that I don't know what I'm doing. How's everyone doing? Are you guys like lost? Are you just watching me right? Mariah, you're really, really, really quiet. What? Yeah, okay. All right, so let's talk about this guy. So first thing we need to do is what I started doing here on the left is just calculating what our weights are going to be for each of the formulas. And thank you very much for catching me because as you guys can see, I do all these things and then I'm like, I was looking at the wrong thing. So, yes. So for our C6H12O6, our weight is going to be 180.096, right? And then for our C2H6O, it's 46.048 grams. So then what we have to do is set up this reaction. And so what we're going to do is we're looking for 124 grams of ethanol. So if we have 124 grams of ethanol, oh well, okay, then we're going to take it and we're going to times it, and we're going to say 1 mole of ethanol is this 46 down here, okay? So 46.07 grams. And then we're going to times that by 1 mole of glucose over 2 moles of ethanol, okay? And then we're going to times that by 180.2 grams of glucose per mole glucose. And that will end up giving you uh, the 243 grams of glucose, okay? And then we take that 243 grams of glucose and we divide that by 180.096 grams per mole, and that ends up giving you 1.35 moles glucose, right? So let's highlight where we got these numbers from. This 180 here came from this guy here, okay? Same with this guy. So we'll color code, okay? Where our 46 came from there, and our 124 came from there, okay? Right. So lots of calculations and tons of fun. Alrighty. So how about this guy? So how are you guys for this one? Did you get the 2.5? So basically, we would take the moles of lactic acid that it's asking for, and then put that over top Avogadro's numbers, right? And then we're going to say 1 mole of lactic acid has 3 moles of oxygen from the formula that it gave us. So when we multiply that out, that ends up giving us 2.49. When we round up for sig figs, that's the 2.5 answer. So for me personally, the biggest struggle for this chapter was figuring out when to use Avogadro's number versus the molecular weight. So just practice, practice, practice. So did you guys get B for an answer? Or did I go too fast? Okay. Do you see how I got 2.5 though? Divide. Or, yeah, because you times it by 1. You times, because the 3 is on the bottom. So you just have to make sure that your moles cancel out. Okay. Okay. Alrighty. Now my computer is deciding to show you the answers first. Okay, what about this guy here? There was another clue that or tip that I found, and I'll write it over in the side. So if you first balance the metals, then you balance the non-metals, except for the oxygen and hydrogen, and then keep the oxygen and hydrogens to the end, then that, like I said before, the hydrogens especially, it makes it a lot easier. So how many of you guys got 7? Yeah. Yeah, it's a G for gas. Yeah. All right. Cool. So you can see, I mean, that one's kind of just a lot of playing around with numbers until they fit. But yeah, so good job. So then that ends up being 4 NH3s. So you can see down here, plus 7O2s. And so that'd be your 7 number. And then the 4 NO2s is 6 H2Os. So that everything ends up equating. All right, good job. Sophie, I will not English. You guys will help. Yep. So we again are equating because both sides have to be equal. So 11 moles of oxygen is going to equate to 12 moles of the water. And so if you get that ratio, 11 divided by 12, it's 0.916. And then you're going to take that and you're going to times that by 8 moles. And that ends up giving you the 7.3 moles of oxygen. And this 8 comes from the question here. All right, cool beans. You guys are doing so good. And like I said, this one I am recording, so you can come back and work through these problems. But now that you guys have the slides from a couple weeks ago, that's good. And then I put those worked problems up too, so hopefully those have been helpful that you can work through those and get some practice before we do these as well. Good. So last question. Hmm. Yeah, yeah. So this 45.5, they rounded to 46, and that would give you that difference right there if you rounded that, you know. All right. So, yeah. So the answer for that guy was gonna be A. So, like I said, this was recorded, so you guys can go back and work through these problems with me, with us. I'm going to come back to here so now I can see. So, like I said, hopefully the chat was pretty quiet because I couldn't see it. And I will work on trying to figure out how to record from the actual Google Hangout instead of using the Screencast-O-Matic. But I'm gonna put this one on YouTube with a link, but I'm gonna make it private so only you guys can see it. Because I did mention a full name. Okay. So I will do that. But just to recap from the beginning of the discussion, for those of you that came in a little bit late, I decided that for the first 4 weeks, you guys are getting full credit for attempting any of the assignments. I still want you to go in and obviously give it a good go because you're going to need to know this material for the midterms. Or the big exams, but since we started off with so many problems, I'm not going to penalize you for things that were out of both of our hands and out of our control. I have my book now, super excited. Broken finger, not super excited. Um, but yeah, so I will go in and update the grade book for giving you guys the full credit for the first 4 weeks. And then I have assigned all of the homeworks for the mastering chemistry. And since I got feedback on the quizzes, I will go in and assign those today. And so everything should be set for the rest of the semester. They all are going to be available like ASAP, so you could work ahead if you wanted to. Things shouldn't hold you back. Um, so I think that now we are all on the same page, and I will start sending out the link again just so that everyone can make sure to come to class. And yeah, are there any questions before we wrap up for the day? Oh, Wendy, you did make it. Yes. Good. All right, any questions? Come off of mute, you guys. No? Okay. We all hanging in there? Doing okay? All right, so I will work on getting this stuff finished up. Like I said, I was just waiting to hear back a little bit on the feedback on how the quizzes went, and they seem to be going a lot better for Module 1. I will update grades today and get all of those quizzes in today, and I will see you guys next week then, okay? You're welcome. Have a great day, okay? Bye-bye.